Welcome to So Many Receipts. I'm Shelley Seddon.
And I'm Fleur Michelle.
And we're two entertainment journos based in Sydney, Australia who love to analyse and talk about all things reality TV and pop culture.
In Deep Dive, we go all in on stuff we're dying to know about, plus chats you won't want to miss.
Welcome to our latest deep dive into And Just Like That, Season 3. Also known as I Couldn't Help But Wonder, what the hell have they done to this show?
So we are up to episode 5, right? And we have to talk about the episode's most shocking moment when Miranda, who is staying with Carrie, walks out of her room completely naked in front of Carrie.
I know.
Wearing only a pair of booties.
Yeah.
So Miranda is staying over because she's having trouble with a noisy neighbour. One night, Carrie gets out of bed to put her cat out into the hallway and screams because she sees Miranda coming out of the kitchen completely stark naked getting a drink, which made me scream as well.
I know. Do we really need to see this? Who walks around someone's house as a guest completely naked?
And what single woman sleeps completely naked every night anyway? Do women do that?
I don't.
Is it a thing? If so, I had no idea because I don't either. Like, I can understand if you've got a partner and you climb naked into the bed with them because you may end up having sex, you want to cuddle, but why bother ditching the clothes when there's no one else around in your bed? Wouldn't you catch a cold? Like, is it summer in this show? Are they hot?
I think it's summer-ish, but it doesn't make
really
sense. Yeah.
Summer. Plus, we always saw Miranda in Sex and the City sleeping in old T-shirts. What happened to them?
Yeah, I don't know.
So Cynthia Nixon, who plays Miranda, is an executive producer on this show as well. I imagine this was probably her idea.
Yeah.
And maybe she wanted to make a point of normalising 55-year-old women's bodies. But did she have to go fully naked? Like, there is a moment when you see bush.
Yes.
Honestly, I was clutching my pearls at this scene.
Yes, I know. I agree. So, as I mentioned before on our regular receipt roundup, I actually thought this episode was a return to form. I liked the comedy of Miranda's noisy neighbor. So we see her slipping a few notes under the door, and then she finally decides to knock. She's had enough and is met by a naked elderly man holding a meat cleaver and threatening to chop her up. So this is the wacky, only in New York kind of scenes that we love from Sex and the City.
But was he actually fully naked?
I went back and checked.
Oh, he is?
Yes, he's fully naked.
Because I thought that he was wearing some kind of flesh-coloured undies.
No, he had tan lines. I think that's why you thought that he had tan lines.
See, I didn't want to go back and check. Thanks for doing the receipts on that. I didn't want to look at that again.
Well, because I was like, did I imagine that? So I actually went back and checked. So I always thought that Miranda should be staying in Carrie's mansion instead of some random Airbnb. But now I get it. They both need their space. And there comes a point where you're just too old to do the roommate thing. And I did think Carrie being precious about breakfast, it was a bit much. And I thought it was also a bit rude of Miranda to eat whatever she could find in Carrie's fridge, because I'm guessing Carrie wouldn't have a whole lot in her refrigerator. She doesn't cook, and I don't even think she really eats very much. But anyway, but I did love Miranda mentioning old Carrie, who had a cigarette for breakfast.
And I was surprised to see that Miranda had eaten Carrie's yogurt, because again, I didn't ever remember Carrie eating anything, and didn't think she'd be into yogurt either.
Yeah.
And I did laugh out loud when I saw that Aiden was the one who bought the ugly $7,000 table for Carrie from First Dibs. That's revealed in this episode, because you had said in last week's pod, we finally saw the end of the ugly table. It was sold to someone else. I did think it was funny that someone was Aiden.
I thought it was a sign that their relationship was doomed. Nope. The table lives to see another day. So Miranda clearly doesn't realize this table is sacred. And of course, she was always going to spill her Mexican Coke all over it. And fun fact, Coke has different recipes in each country, and Mexican Coke is made with real sugar and not high fructose corn syrup like it is in the U.S. And Coke in Australia is also made with real sugar. So Mexican Coke and Australian Coke are basically the same thing.
So do you prefer the Australian Coke with the sugar or the American Coke when you go back home?
Well, I do Diet Coke, and the recipes are different in Australia and in America. So I get used to like I probably prefer the American one, but then I get used to the one here. So then when I go back to America, I'm like, oh, it tastes funny. I just wish it was consistent, but yeah, anyway. But on to Charlotte and Harry and the storyline No One Wanted. It's finally arrived. Harry has prostate cancer.
And you predicted that would happen a few episodes ago when he wet himself in the club. You were right.
Yes. There were rumors that one of the characters would have a health scare this season, and I think this is it. I hope this is the only one that's going to happen. But anyway, interestingly, apparently Kristin Davis has a clause in her contract that says her and Harry have to stay together. So hopefully Harry will be fine because they cannot kill off Big and Harry.
I love that she's put that into her contract. She wants the consistency and she wants to give us hope that some relationships go on to live happily ever after.
I love
something
that.
Like
I need
that.
that security. I need that security. So thank you, Kristin Davis.
Give us something to aspire to. Thank you, Kristin Davis.
Yes, a couple goals.
Yes.
So we also see Harry and Charlotte go on a glamping trip with LTW and Herbert. But I want to know, why was Harry so annoying with the mosquitoes? Why do they make the husbands so annoying? Like Steve being deaf in the previous 2 seasons. Like, poor Harry has enough to deal with. Like, use some Arrow Guard.
And I actually liked that they were glamping on Governor's Island, which is like a little island off the skyline of New York.
Yeah, it's New York Harbor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they do the same thing in Sydney on Cockatoo Island, which is the middle of our harbour with the Opera House in the background. Because I know you can camp at Cockatoo Island, but I'm pretty sure you can glamp. Can you imagine how expensive that would be both here and in New York?
Yeah, for sure. So I want to know, if the Wexley and Goldenblatt families are going glamping together, why is everyone just sitting on their devices in a tent?
Well, because that's what any family with kids ends up doing. Take it from me, and I would actually be in my phone in a tent if I could get Wi-Fi out there. Just saying.
It sounds like such a huge waste of money.
No, but that's
vacation. That's school holidays.
Got a lot of money. And the other thing I thought, maybe it's going to be revealed if they're still on the glamping trip. Like, what is there for kids to do on that island?
Go explore. Go out in nature. Go. I don't know.
I know, but was it like that? I mean, like at one scene that there was like a built-in pool or something. I mean, how nature-worthy is this Governor's Island?
Yeah, I don't know.
Have you been there?
No,
Obviously,
I haven't.
You know more about it.
Yeah. So we do see LTW going straight to the glamping from a work trip in Atlanta, and she was on this trip with Marion, her hot new editor. So we do see them interacting a little bit on the plane. We already know he's obviously very good looking and talented, but he's also very charming. So of course he's charming. But I thought he was going to have a crush on her. So I was surprised and intrigued that she admitted to Charlotte in the glamping scene that she was the one with a work crush.
I still can't comprehend this male character's name. I just can't with this. Marion?
I know.
It's such a turn-off. And you had mentioned to me that John Wayne's real name was Marion from about 100 years ago, but that's why he changed it to John.
Yeah, you were never going to be a leading rough and tumble cowboy with the name Marion. Yeah, exactly. And finally, onto Seema and PHA, plot hole alert. Why does Seema need a loan, and why can't she get one?
Because hasn't she done really well for herself over these years?
She has a beautiful apartment,
she can afford
a driver, a chauffeur. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I don't understand, because her partner leaving the business and selling his share of the company to Ryan Serhant, it doesn't make sense. Surely they would have some kind of deal, since she presumably owns half the business. And they talked about Seema and a succession plan.
Yeah.
And if she was leaving the business, wouldn't Ryan have to buy her out? And if she was screwed over, why is she not seeing a lawyer instead of a banker?
Oh, I know. It doesn't make sense. I actually find this plot line a bit dull. Like, if they want to do a work issue, I would rather her start working with, say, a passive-aggressive co-worker or something like that. This business takeover is boring.
Yeah. But in good news, we finally got a scene with Seema and Adam Gardens flirting and sharing a ciggy, the dirty gardener.
But I think in this episode, doesn't he say when she's having a cigarette, my girlfriend, blah, blah, blah?
So when I went to watch the old man, watch it back to see if the man was actually naked, I checked that out too. So he said, I'm seeing a woman who teaches vinyasa.
Oh, okay.
Yoga.
But then he's flirting with her.
Yeah. So to me, seeing a woman is very loosey-goosey. Like,
oh, okay.
No, he didn't say girlfriend.
So.
He didn't say girlfriend or wife.
Right.
So I think there's an opening.
Okay. Now I'm relieved. Okay. And just like that, that's all we have time for. Join us next week for our deep dive into episode 6.